Hello, everyone.
Thank you, doggy. It's Friday.
Yes, happy TDIF, everybody.
Hello, hello. So happy to be with you. Hard to believe it's Friday. I know we say it a lot, but it feels like the week is kind of either dragged on or gone by really fast. One of the like some moments were really long and other moments were like super fast. Like it feels like a Wednesday, but then also feels like maybe it should be Saturday or Sunday already. So anyway, the sun is shining. So happy to be here. Happy you're here with us. How you doing today, Hillary?
I am doing great. It is actually
Good.
warmed up a little bit around here, so that's really nice because we had
Nice.
some brutal cold
I
weather
know.
recently. So it's
Yeah.
it's sort of one extreme to the other. So that's
I know.
I'm excited for a nice weekend with
I
a
am
little
too.
warmer weather.
I know, for sure, for sure. I think finally, because we've had not as cold, but still bitter cold. That all this last week, the pups have been bundled up in their little winter parkas with the little fur on them. All the girls in the house are little matching parkas, with the fur on the trim around here. And so it's gonna be nice. The next week, I think it's gonna be in the 40s, which is like it's like bikini weather.
Exactly, it's a heat wave for sure.
A heat wave. So happy for the sun and the warmth. Hope everybody's enjoying their week, their day. We're super excited to be with you. We love doing fun crafts with you every Friday. If you don't know who we are, I'm Patty, and I'm here with amazing Hillary.
Hello, everyone.
And we are the co-founders of Hound Hugger DIY, all things hounds and DIY and handmade. And today we're doing a really super fun, super easy Dollar Tree DIY. We do a number of these. Dollar Tree's craft section is just like blowing up. I think they're really emphasizing a lot of really fun craft ideas. And craft supplies in the stores now. I even saw an article that said they're really going to try and get the same craft supplies. Like that's a goal that Dollar Tree has, because you go to different Dollar Trees and they have different things. So when I saw that headline, I'm like, oh, that'd be awesome, because
that would be nice.
Especially if you and I shop together for things. Sometimes you find one thing at one store, speaking of which, and I find something different. But today we're going to do a cutting board, a glass cutting board from Dollar Tree. They have some of these that are already decorated, but we're going to customize ours for to fit our fancy, do whatever.
And if at your Dollar Tree, so where mine was, they had both the square and the round version of these. This is the first time I've ever seen the square ones. So that was kind of cool. I was like, oh, wow, this is neat. But if you're looking for just the plain glass ones, now this will depend on your Dollar Tree.
Right.
So as Patty mentioned, they have some that are decorated. My plain ones were at the very bottom of the pile underneath the decorated ones. So you may have to hunt a little bit to find just the plain ones. So that's my little tip there for how to sort of treasure hunt at your Dollar Tree.
Yeah, exactly. We should put a little how-to guide together because we both have different Dollar Trees we've treasure hunted in. So I've taken the wrapping off of this. You'll notice that there's a rough side. That's the cutting side of your cutting board. It's kind of opaque. And then the side with the feet, you can see how flat and shiny and glass-like it is, okay? Mirror-like. So just remember which side is which, because the next step is to take off these little rubber feet using just a little Xacto blade. You could probably use a flathead screwdriver too if you had one, if you didn't have an Xacto knife. And you're basically just getting underneath. These are little rubber feet, and they're put on there with like a sticky substance. It's not really a glue, but there's a little.
Yeah, it's like an adhesive-backed little rubber foot there that you're getting under in order to pop off those feet.
Yeah. And basically all you want to do is make sure this surface is clean. You can, Hillary is going to talk about what she did to clean hers. I am really just taking my Xacto knife and I'm just scraping away the rest of the adhesive. Sometimes there's a lot, sometimes there's really not much left.
And for mine, I just used a little bit of adhesive remover. So just a little tiny dab of adhesive remover, but depending on the type of adhesive remover, you could use alcohol if you wanted to. So isopropyl alcohol, that would work well. Or if you're using like the adhesive remover, sometimes that leaves a bit of a film on the things that you're using. If you use that kind that leaves that film, be sure to use Windex or something to clean that glass off after you get done, because you're going to want a nice clean surface for the next part of the project.
And as you can see, these are really easy to get off. They don't take any time at all. The rubber foot is flexible, so as you're peeling it off the surface, it's not like you're going to be afraid to break the glass or anything, that you've got a hard surface up against another hard surface. The rubber does have some flexibility, so it comes off nicely. Again, I'm just making sure I've got all that adhesive residue off. You don't want anything. We're going to be designing on this surface, and we don't want anything blocking our beautiful design. Getting in the way. So I've got my last foot here. These just come off so easily, honestly. So nice. And there you go. Let me get my little cap on here. Safety first. And we're good to go. So nice and shiny and clean. Again, you could take some rubbing alcohol or Windex or anything like that and clean the surface off if you'd like. But I think we're ready to go.
Yeah.
So the next thing to do is find a couple coordinating fabrics. We're going to do a backdrop fabric, and then we're going to do a little embellishment fabric somewhere on the surface, in the middle or on the ends or wherever you want. And I'm just kind of going with a little red, white, and blue theme. Thought this would be fun. So I'm doing my checkered is going to be in the background, kind of look like a little tablecloth, right? I think that's so cute. And then I've got some red denim fabric that I'm going to use for my little embellishment that we're going to do on the top.
Those are really cute. So I'm using, again, kind of that, it's red and white gingham, like that is kind of classic tableclothy, kitchen-y, sort of gives you those vibes. So that one. And then I just have some regular kind of light wash denim as well.
Oh, cute. Cute. All right. And then so the next thing you're going to want to do is lay out your fabric. And then you're going to trace around your board and then cut out a piece of fabric. And I've already done that, the size of your board. So that's the first step. And once that's done, you can set that aside. You can actually set both of these aside. And then you're going to cut out any kind of a little embellishment. So here, I'll show my previous one. So I've got, this is a finished product here. So I did a little bone out of the navy kind of denim, the regular denim. And I've done a red and white check on this one. So I'm doing a blue and white check on mine with the red. So they're going to kind of complement each other, but any kind of embellishment you want for the centerpiece.
And for mine, I'm using some cookie cutters for my little bone size. And the nice thing about this set of cookie cutters is it has all different sizes.
I know, that's so nice.
Of the bones. So I'm actually using this second one here. And I'm putting a couple little bones on mine
that'll be cute.
That I use to cut them out. So,
and since I've already done one with a bone, I'm doing some big fat letters in mine, so they kind of go together. But yeah, that'll be a fun little compliment. So that once
there's my little bones here, but you could also do like multiple different sizes, or like yours, one big one in the middle, like however you want to do these. This is totally customizable, and obviously totally customizable for the fabrics as well. So just shop your craft stash and see what kind of coordinates, and then use whatever you want. Now, I would recommend cottons or denims, things that aren't going to fray easily, or something not like a fleece or something like that, because we are going to use Mod Podge. So you want something that'll maintain the look
nicely.
Yeah, and maintain the look of that fabric, like once you actually use it in the craft.
Anything too thick and fluffy, I think, wouldn't hold the Mod Podge very well.
Exactly.
So you want something that's got that's fairly thin, or not translucent, but opaque, or not opaque. What am I trying to think of? Like porous. That's what I want. Like something that the Mod Podge can seep through it nicely. So once you have both your background fabric and your little fun embellishments cut out, now you're going to take some fabric glue and we're going to attach the little fun embellishments to our background. And you can, if you want to put your board over the top again, because I cut mine out, my background fabric, just a little bit oversized just to make sure, because we can trim that off later. But you can kind of put your board back on, kind of see where it fits before you put your little embellishments to make sure everything's centered or wherever you want them. And then we'll just attach these with.
And this, we're just using the Beacon Fabri-Tac glue, which is really nice. It'll give you a little bit of time to adjust if you need to. So that's nice.
Yeah. All right, I'm just putting my board back on here to make sure my letters are centered where I want them to be.
And you don't have to use very much glue because this is going to be sandwiched in between the glass and the fabric. So you can be a little sparingly with the glue. Like you obviously want it to glue, but you're not you're not having to like, that's not the only thing that's going to be holding these down.
Yes, you're just tacking it in place basically. Yeah, just the least little dab will do ya.
And you could also use, so we're using fabrics obviously for this, but you could use napkins or, like other types of materials as well. Yeah. Craft paper, things like that. Because it'll be going on the underneath side of the cutting board. So you'll see that design up through the sort of textured side of the cutting board.
Right, through the glass, yeah.
So,
okay.
There's my little bones on there.
Oh, how cute. This is taking me just a little extra second.
And these would make like great little gifts in a little gift basket, a housewarming type of gift or something like that would be really cute with some other kitchen items. So something that's customized by you.
Yes.
It's always fun to get handmade gifts.
Well, and even the letters that I'm doing, like you could do monogram, right? You could do somebody's, like if it was a hostess gift, it would be so cute to do something that was personalized to that person that you're giving it to. Or it could be a fun little saying or, all right, there we go. Here we go.
Cute.
All right. So now the fun part, well, it's all fun, but now we're going to continue on with the fun part. We're going to take some, what are they calling this? Dishwasher safe Mod Podge. So you want the blue jar of Mod Podge, make it dishwasher safe. And then we're going to coat the glass flat side, not the rough opaque side. We want to do the glossy side of the cutting board because that is actually the back.
Oh, and that's another thing I guess I should mention. So my fabric happens to be the same on both sides. Yeah. But if you're using a fabric that isn't, make sure you're putting your decoration on top of that, the right side, I guess, of the fabric. And then you're going to be flipping the whole thing over onto the cutting board. So it's a little bit like you're working backwards once you start adding it to the cutting board.
Good point. Excellent point, actually. All right, so we're just going to brush some Mod Podge on here. It's just a nice thin layer. Make sure you get to the edges, although you can always go back to the edges and add more later, but get to the edges. And with Mod Podge, you kind of need to work a little quickly. You don't want this to dry.
Yeah.
But what's nice is the glass does not absorb any of the Mod Podge. So even a thin layer will stay wet a little longer than if you were putting Mod Podge on paper or wood or something that would soak it up. So you have a little wiggle room to play with, but you don't need much.
And you don't want like pools or puddles. You want it kind of evenly distributed.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna hold mine up. You can see nice opaque, thin coat of Mod Podge on there. And then once you have that done, as Hillary mentioned, we're going to take the right side of the fabric and put it into the Mod Podge. So you're looking at the wrong side of the fabric. And then we're just going to press down. Now, because we have an embellishment on here, make sure we want to get rid of as many air bubbles as possible. So it's easy to press the background fabric down and get those air bubbles out. The challenge is to go around the other embellishment that you have and kind of just push in and around all of those edges. It's not going to be perfect. You might still have a little air around them, but that we're going to put another layer of Mod Podge, and that will actually get into those air pockets. So don't worry about that, but we're just trying to press out as much air before we put the next layer of Mod Podge on. And so just pushing down in and around the edges of your bones or letters or flower shapes or whatever you're using to decorate your board. And once you feel like you've got everything pushed down, you're satisfied, we can, I'm actually going to trim mine.
Yep, I have some areas that need a little trimming as well.
Before I put my next.
So you can see there's just the slightest little bit edges. Like once you get it pushed down, it sort of stretches the fabric a little bit. So you probably will need to trim on those edges.
I had some little stray fabric hairs, so I lifted mine up again to get rid of those. And pushing it back down.
And you may notice like my edges, even though I put Mod Podge all the way to the edge, it is kind of pulling away from the edge a little bit. But that next coat of Mod Podge that we do will help to adhere all those edges down.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, just go back through as much as you want to trim away any little excess.
And it's kind of nice because the edge of the cutting board is a little bit beveled, so that makes it a little easier to get the fabric where you where you want it.
And honestly, when you turn it back over, if you look at the back side after trimming, it's not going to be perfect, but that's not going to be seen because the glass on the edge actually magnifies, that edge. It kind of blurs the edge. So don't fret if it's not perfect. It's not going to be. Okay. Get rid of all my little
all the little
scraps.
hairs.
Yes. And I'm going to put, where I lifted up my fabric, I'm going to put a little Mod Podge down again. Just to make sure that sticks. All right. That's better. Okay, we're getting there.
Yep.
Now that you have everything trimmed off nicely, it's time to put your next layer of Mod Podge on. And this time, try to get those edges covered with Mod Podge. You can always wipe off any excess, but that's going to help secure the fabric to the glass. And you can be liberal this time. You can put a good amount and spread it around.
I'm just looking for something to put under.
Oh, so you don't get it on your surface,
Exactly.
Work surface? Yeah.
So I just have a little piece of cardstock here that'll hopefully protect my table a little bit.
I'm going rogue.
I'm messier than you, I have a feeling.
I don't know. I don't know about that. You definitely have a nice safety net when you've got something under your work, what you're working on. I'll just have to come back and clean my surface later. All right. And you can, as you work on the edges, you can take your finger and wipe off the excess, but you do want to get that edge of fabric covered with Mod Podge so that it stays in place. These are great because if you really give this a nice good coat on front, on the first coat and the second coat, especially the second coat of Mod Podge, as it says on the jar, this Mod Podge is dishwasher safe.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, so this is nice. I mean, I would probably hand clean this just because I don't know how good I am at putting Mod Podge down, but
but you could for sure, you can feel comfortable even if you are hand cleaning it.
Totally.
Under normal circumstances, if you were just gluing something together, you wouldn't feel very comfortable about putting that under the under the running water even.
Right. Well, and it's food grade safe and all that stuff. So you know that you're going to be, it's going to be nice and a nice finished product. So I'm just going. And then just be nice and liberal with it around your embellishments. Again, because they probably have a little bit of air around them. So we want to make sure that Mod Podge seeps through the fabric.
Yeah. And especially depending on how thick your fabrics are, stuff like that. So mine is a super thin fabric on the background, but the denim is pretty thick. So you really do want to get around and try to get it worked into anywhere that there's those air bubbles.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Mod Podge. It's just such a fun.
Anybody can do this. Yeah. That's what's so nice about the Mod Podge. Like anybody can do this. This would be a great Mother's Day gift for the kids to make, right? Yeah. I mean, that would be so sweet if they each made their own for mom. Or for a dog mom, obviously. We like ours doggy themed. But these would be, as we've said, nice hostess gift. You could give these to your favorite dog walker or dog sitter, vet techs, your neighbors, coworker, birthday gifts.
A lot of times, like Christmas gifts are cheese and sausage and things like that. If you made a
Yeah.
little board that went along with some
Oh,
kind of
great
fun treats
idea.
like that.
Yeah, put a whole little gift basket
Yep,
together. That's a great idea. Some nuts and cheeses and
exactly.
a little cheese knife. All right, so I think I've got mine done. I'm just going around the edge. Just lightly taking the finger.
Slow and steady over here. So
that's okay. It took me a while to put my little yum on here, my little embellishment. That's a fun part. I know Hillary and I have said this before, but Hillary, I just have so much fun crafting with you. And I love that we take the same idea, but the end result is slightly different. It's a little varied. And I'm really, what I love about it is what I hope you take away, if you're watching, you take away the fact that we're doing this just for inspiration. You can do this any way you like.
Yep.
There aren't really any wrong ways to go about it. This is something, crafting should be relaxing and fun, something that you really enjoy doing. Even sometimes in the middle of a craft, you might get a little frustrated. It might not turn out the way you think, but the end result is always special. And I just love that.
Well, and that's part of the process, is that sort of, there is a point in pretty much all crafts where you're like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And then you keep on working and you get to the point where you're like, oh, I love it. Like at the end.
Yeah. And often it's better than what you thought it was going to be to begin with. Right. So that's really, really cool.
And this isn't, as Patty mentioned, like ours are slightly different always. That is your own personality that's coming through. Like your own handmade thing is going to have your personality, your spin, your take on it. So
exactly. So the next step is to let this completely dry. If you're in a hurry, get a heat tool or a hair dryer and really give it a good drying off to make sure that it's not sticky anymore or not wet. And then we still have, I don't know, Hillary, if you and I will be able to do that on this one.
I don't think so.
Wait.
Yep.
But if you remember when we started, our board had these little rubber feet on them that we took off on the back so that we could embellish it. So the next step is super easy. You just take each foot. They even are still a little sticky, but you're going to need to add a little glue. And I use just the Fabri-Tac. You could use super glue and just put a little dab of glue onto the foot and then just tack it onto the dry surface of your fabric. So you can see, I don't know if you can see them. I've got them here. I've got them just put them back in the four corners. Doesn't have to be exact. These are just little feet that are going to keep it propped up and off the table. And you're all done. But really fun idea. I just love these. These are so cute.
I love how customizable they are.
Yes.
So you could it works for anything, any holiday, any,
right.
Just
exactly.
Your own
birthday, if 4th of July, like I was looking at these and I'm like, oh, I picked red, white, and blue. I could use these for 4th of July.
I actually labeled them as 4th of July just because I was like, well, they work for 4th of July perfectly, but they are also just that classic kind of kitchen look too. So
exactly.
That's fun.
Exactly. So mine's still wet, but you can see you can make them, they can coordinate together. You can make a whole set or a series of them and then lay them out on your table when you have a party or a little gathering with the family, or even if you're just doing it for yourself. It's fun to kind of decorate your table decor for yourself. Oh, I love that. Look how cute that turned out. That is adorable. I love that. So look at even when we use kind of the same idea, the red check and the blue denim, look how different, but how fun and unique these are. I love that. I love the personality. You could write on here or stitch on here before you put it down. There's so many things, stamps, paper, other kind of fun embellishments. But this is just to kind of spark the ideas and get you going. But and
it's almost impossible to do just one. Like they are so fun and so easy that
I know.
I recommend too,
Exactly.
if you have them available at your Dollar Tree, get some of the squares and some of the round ones, because that
Yeah.
would be a kind of,
Oh,
you can make
yeah.
them coordinate, but they're different shapes, so they're a little
Right.
bit different too. So yeah.
Right. Exactly. And you could use these like to display crackers and cupcakes and other. They don't have to be
Yep.
used as a cutting board, but these could be fun little displays for a little get together as well. But I just love these. These are
They turn
adorable.
out so cute.
They are.
And I'm
Super
just, you'll notice I'm kind of looking at the edges here. If there's any little threads that are starting
Yes.
to pop up, just push those down into that Mod Podge so that they'll dry in that Mod Podge.
Yeah.
So,
and even if you miss them, you can go back and add a little more Mod Podge, tuck the little fabric, I call them little fabric hairs, the little loose threads back in place. But yeah, super cute. So easy. This could be a whole fun family project. This could be a gals night together, crafting, a little get together with your friends. For $1.25.
Yep.
And like whatever's fabrics in your craft stash, like that's like inexpensive, but look how cute and adorable these are.
Yeah, they are so fun.
You could have like a girls' dinner, the little charcuterie board and some wine, and then make some of these while you're eating your little gal dinner, your girls' dinner. That would be so fun.
Yeah,
I just love these. Super cute.
Yep. Like I said, any holiday, I could see little Easter, designing little Easter eggs to put as the embellishment.
Oh, yeah. Shamrocks.
Yep.
Yeah. Hearts for Valentine's Day. All kinds of fun things.
Well, if you're looking for some more ideas for crafts and things like that, we have a huge, long playlist of all kinds of different fun craft ideas. We also have dog treat recipes. If you want to display some of your little dog treats on your finished cutting board, you can do that as well. So check out some of our past crafts and recipes. And please, if you know anybody that you think would enjoy this, please share, comment, let us know how the crafts turned out for you as well. Like, we love seeing what you all create. Like, it absolutely makes our day. So please tag us, Hound Hugger DIY, so we can find your creations out there. We can't tell you how, like, it puts the biggest smile on our face. And extra points if you add your pups in those pictures as well.
Yeah, exactly.
We hope you enjoy this one.
Have a great weekend. Go get crafty. Have fun.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.